Right, good evening all. I'm not promising anything tonight with this stream. I have had a technical nightmare today. For a start off, the old MacBook charger, if you were watching my football live stream, I couldn't fix it, guys. I fucking took it apart and I just can't fix it. So there's going to be no football streams until the MacBook's fixed. So there's a new charger on the way. So this laptop, I'm not sure if the internet's as good as what it fucking is on the MacBook. I'm already fucking guessing by the comments being like behind that it's probably not. So we're going to soldier through. We've had technical difficulties. I had this laptop muted and I thought I couldn't hear people and the guests. So it's been a long day for me. It's been a long day. So I've got 3 guests to help me through this evening. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my first one. His mic is very quiet, so you need to listen hard. You might need to turn your headphones up if you've got them. But first of all, we've got Daz, Mr. Cojonesdeloro. Please speak up so everyone can hear.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
There's a few in the comments, Daz. I can highlight comments and say hello to everyone. So just introduce yourself about your channel and who you are.
Right. Cojonesdeloro, and I've been around for fucking years, but I decided to shut everything down and got rid of all my stuff, so now I'm back.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that when we get into everything.
Oh, no.
Yes, Daz, turn the volume up. That's the first. That's Stu. Turn the volume up.
Keep trying, Stuart.
This is what happens when you deal with the older generation and technology. Is that right, Daz?
Yeah, I'm just an old fool.
So we've got me running on fucking dial up tonight. We've got Daz with no mic. So we've got 2 blokes who are going to soldier through for us. And first of all, we've got Adam, Mr. Shockz16. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Shockz16, the 16th of the Shockz clan. And can you hear me? I've got my mic on.
Yeah, I can hear you now, mate.
Yeah, and this is my channel basically. I just sit in this room normally or on the sofa and talk shit, show some games, and yeah, I've only had 1 channel. And oh no, I haven't. I've got a vlog channel if you want to check that out. I never upload to it, but you can check that out too if you want.
Stu saying we can hear Adam fine. Yeah, we were where it's Daz, and he's I think he's running on Windows 98. So to help us soldier through, we've now got 3 guests on tonight. The first time we got 3 guests, and it is Champion2dRob. Say hello.
Hey, hello everyone. Champion2dRob here. The guy that decided to disappear for like over a year and buys constant stuff, barely plays his stuff, but keeps buying stuff anyway.
I noticed
this is my first stream, so
I noticed you actually got yourself a video out today because you was going to be on here. Are you expecting a few big hits later?
If you haven't watched it already, you better watch it after this. But don't watch it during this. Make sure you watch it after this.
Right, lads.
Smash that subscribe button.
So the way we're going to do it, man, is
press that
whenever
subscribe
I ask
button.
any questions,
Link it and comment below. Like and comment below.
Like and ring the bell. Ring the bell now.
Rate,
Exactly.
comment,
Remember
subscribe.
my Patreon. Remember my Patreon page. Feel free to add to it.
If he's got fucking
Give me
Patreon,
money
I'm
so I can
kicking
buy
him off.
more games I don't play.
Right, so what we're going to do is when I ask any question, we're going to have to go to Daz first, and we're all going to have to sit in silence like we when we were at school. Fingers on
For just
lips.
£2 a month, you can buy Daz a microphone.
Right,
Pick
so
up, Daz. There you are.
he's got headphones. Right, as we're talking about lockdown, I'm assuming we're all in lockdown. I'll go to Daz first. How have you been coping, mate? I can hear you even less now.
Sounds like you're in a swimming pool.
Daz, we can't even, whatever you fucked about with, we can't even hear you at all now. I knew this was going to be a good one tonight.
Oh Lord.
Have you got a pen and paper? You can be Wooly Weeble and just write.
Tune in into tomorrow's stream where we'll have sound.
I had actually started building up some bit of a following, but I think that's gone after tonight, isn't it? I fucked up the. Oh, hang on.
Hey!
What did you say, Dad?
I've got two here, so help me off tech support, Lucy tech support. It's probably going to say your foot, mate. Right, here's the call now, leave and come back. Right, I'll do that.
No, it doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't work. It's got no mic.
What we'll do, right, is you can talk to Rob and Shockz. I'm going to fuck off and buy Macbook.
Pop down to CX. Dad. See if it's still open.
I'm sure even the local garage has got some of them headphones with a mic built in.
Just your phone, Dad. Just your phone. Go your phone.
If you can get here before the end of the stream, I'll give you some.
We've lost Daz. He might be sorted out. He might be back. So we'll go to Shockz then. How have you been coping in lockdown?
Yeah, for me, it's not much different from my normal life, really. I am just normally isolated because I don't really like the world. But yeah, this is day 14 on house arrest now, and I've basically just been sitting around in my pants playing Xbox and eating cornflakes. So yeah.
Or as you call it, Friday.
Yes. The weekend.
How about you then, Rob? Has it been a little bit different for you at all?
Well, to be honest, it's been pretty much the same thing. Although I'm a little bit classier than Shockz. I don't go for cornflakes, but
you're a Frosties.
I just the same shit. No, do you know what? I quit cereals. Too much sugar ones. I just can't stand. I can't eat them. I can't eat
just have cornflakes
sugary ones. So I just
Pops.
basically.
Not Cocoa Pops, actually. No, Rice Krispies. I was thinking of the boring ones.
No, fuck all that. No, don't do none of that stuff.
Dry Weetabix.
No, but no. I mostly mostly porridge. That's what I kind of like to eat more than anything. Yeah, porridge.
Raz says two wonderful
like.
people on and Shockz. Have you got any response to that?
Big
Shockz?
ups, Raz. Big ups, Raz. Top fella.
I was going to say at least people can understand my accent, but that's probably not true, is it? But...
Yeah. Oh, actually, you've reminded me. I've not even opened a beer yet, man. Because of the technical chaos, I'm out of fucking swing, man. I'm going to have me a Thatcher's Gold.
I know, I'm going to have to go to the fridge in a minute. Have you got a fridge in your room?
Yeah, I've got a beer fridge in my room.
Oh, see, that's what I need. I need to...
That's what everyone needs. I built the games room round the beer fridge.
See, that's what I should... See, what I did is I put a tumble dryer in the room instead.
Is that for your pants to keep them dry?
Exactly, yeah, to keep the pants warm while I'm in isolation.
Stu wants to know, Rob, are you in jail? I think he...
Is that a Latin thing? No, no. I'm a bit offended. No, all good, mate. No, to be honest, though, it's not been that bad. I've managed it all right. To be honest, since the lockdown, I popped out once to do a bit of shopping, and I swear to God, man, it is so eerie on the streets. It is proper weird. But like I went into this like little local shop because like the supermarkets had fuck all. So I went into this little local shop because they still had stuff. And I don't have a black eye, Raz, but you'll have a black eye if you keep asking stupid questions.
See, the thing is I had Raz on earlier, and he didn't get any trolls, Raz, so now he can hang out in every single street.
Yeah, that's it now, isn't
he? He's got away with his shit,
Anyway, let me finish the story quickly. I'm in this local shop. It's really small and narrow. And as I'm walking through to buy something, this other guy's coming towards me in the opposite way. There's no room to get out of the way. Social distancing. And the guy ends up like, I end up coming towards him, and he ends up fucking flying towards into the grocery stuff just so he can avoid me. It's fucking ridiculous. People be like, don't get me wrong, everyone's a bit paranoid, but yeah, it was weird. It was like he stood there and then he freaked out, and then he launched himself into the groceries, into the shelves. Just got away.
Platoon.
Just like dived into the shelving.
Pretty much. Oh look.
I mean, I had the same. I had to go. I said it on last night's stream. I had to go and get a prescription for the old man, and the local shopping centre that's usually got thousands of people in. There was like literally 10 people max, and most of them were staff.
Really?
Stu reckons that's just a natural reaction to you, mate, Rob.
I knew he was going to say that. I knew someone was going to say that. I saw it coming. Yeah, fair enough. Fair play. I walked into that one.
Do you know what? Do you know why Raz is there in the chat? Can we just clear something up that he brought up on your live stream the other night?
Yeah, go on then. Couldn't remember that you were there.
And this, yeah. First, he couldn't even remember that I was in Sweden. And then when he did remember it, he started slagging me off about this cup of tea he made, right? and he keeps on he gives me shit about it every time he sees me about me going off on one about this cup of tea. But the thing is, he didn't ask me or tell me he was going to do this. He basically just gave me a cup of tea. Like the first day we got there, he gave me a cup of tea, normal British cup of tea, standard, lovely. The second day, he put like honey in it and some other shit. I think it was lemon. Then he just dished it up to me, and then he got mad because I basically nearly threw it back at him. and that's the story. That's the true story.
The truth is right, man. If Raz had given me that fucking cup of tea, he wouldn't be alive now, because it's only like
exactly. He said a cup of tea. I didn't want a fucking lemsip. Do you know what I mean?
Perhaps he sounded a little bit stuffed up or something. Right, we got someone in the comments, someone new to the channel.
Maybe he was being considerate. He thought you were looking a bit poorly.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, a bit pale in complexion, isn't it?
I've just started my YouTube channel. I'm already have an Instagram, but now I'm going to venture out onto here. Any tips? If you want to go first, Shockz, any tips? I'm not really into Instagram. I'll just put my finds on there, but any tips?
Yeah, what you want to do is you want to go to world_of_Shockz, add me, follow me, and then if you keep tapping my pictures, that'll put like a little heart on it, and it'll make me look like really popular. What was the rest of the question? That's about all I know about Instagram.
He said he's completed Instagram. He's just starting a YouTube channel. Do you have any tips for anyone just starting a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I've got something to say.
Upload videos.
Yes.
What about you, Rob? You're clearly going to be the central one.
No, I would say just put out content and about the slow start. You probably won't get a lot of comments in the beginning. You know, the views won't be a lot, but you got to stick at it, and eventually your channel will grow. But always remember, don't be a selfish prick. Go and watch other people's channels, comment on their channels, so that they will eventually see your name. And eventually, you will be brought into the whole community, and then people will start subbing to you because they'll start to know more about you. If you stay on the outside and don't get involved in the communities, don't comment on other people's channels, you're basically not net there either. So it works both ways. You can't just you've got to be a part of some sort of community.
I agree there, Rob, man. I think some people start YouTube and think everyone's going to find them, whereas really you need to be the one trying to network yourself out there.
It's even harder now. It's even from when I started.
How long have you been doing it, Rob?
Since 20.
And how long have you been doing it, Shockz?
About 9 years now.
Oh, 9 years. So, like, would you like to be venturing out there now? Because it does seem like it's a lot harder for anyone starting now than like someone when you did.
Well, To be fair, I'm still I'm still under 1,000 subs after 9 years, and that's mainly
Same.
due to my
Same.
that's mainly due to me, though, because I don't really pimp my channel out or out like that. I don't. Do you know what I mean? And have you seen my content? Just, do you know what I mean? So.
I think
Yeah,
you'd be
but
better doing it in your pants, man. I think you'd be.
Yeah, so do I. I should do like
over.
yeah, some pan isolation live streams or something like that. Boost the channel. Get my 1,000k. No, my 1,000k. My 1k. Then I can start monetizing.
Yeah, I see. Why front gaming? Why front gaming?
Oh yeah, Shockz, don't you have your Patreon page yet? So one out. I've got mine.
Well, yeah, I do. I'm just trying to sort out my my reward schemes at the minute.
Yeah.
Well, $5 a month should be a pair of pants.
Well, that's it. Signed.
Signed pants. Front or back?
Signed Say again.
Front or back?
Well, that's it. $5 tier, you just get pants signed. For $10, you get to pick whereabouts I sign them. For $15, then I'll wear them first before I send them out.
Oh, so I have a brown stripe at the back.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? The more money you donate to the Patreon, the more authentic the Shockz experience becomes via my pants.
So I'll put this to Rob first. What made you want to start YouTube, and when you first started, what were you hoping to get out of it? Because I think what people started when you guys started is different to why people start now sometimes.
Yeah, no. To be honest, I didn't really have any real aspirations in YouTube. All it really was is when I first sort of started watching channels on YouTube. I started off I was getting back into the Mega Drive, so I started looking for people's videos on Mega Drive collecting, just because I wanted inspiration out of the games there were for the library. So I started watching. Like I don't know if you guys remember. I don't know about you, Dane, but Shockz might remember X-File 2708.
Yeah, Marcus. Yeah.
Yeah, Marcus. Yeah, like I used to watch his channel a lot. I used to find it very interesting because he was going for like a full set at the time, and yeah, so I started doing that, and then eventually I started growing. My collection started growing a little bit, and I thought, you know what, I just want to sort of start making some pickup videos. But I didn't really think anyone was going to watch any of it. If looking back on them, some of my strongest pickups were my earliest ones, because back then I didn't have that many games, so I was going for like some serious big hitters. But the irony was I didn't have a lot of people watching back then, so a lot of my biggest games kind of went under the table.
Nobody saw them.
Yeah, no, I was going for like some seriously good stuff, both on not just Mega Drive but also Super Nintendo as well. That was sort of my main focus back then. That's right, both of them. Yeah, Ninja Bear Hug as well, too. Yeah, both of them. I used to watch Ninja Bear Hug as well. He was another one that I used to watch a lot back in the early days. Yeah, great channels. So that like I said, so to me, when I got to like 100 subscribers, I was over the moon, because I was thinking to myself, there's 100 people that paid attention to me, you know. Yeah. So, you know, do you know what I mean? I honestly, I don't really care about having a massive following. All I care about really is just having people that communicate with me. It doesn't matter how big or small. It's all about you know.
And I think anyone who's proper wants to be in the community has that very similar outlook on it. What about you then, Ad? When you first started, like how did you get into it all?
Yeah, pretty much the same as Rob, really. About 2008, 2009 and stuff like that, I started to buy some of my like SNES games, but I don't know, no, I can't see them, can you? But they're further up there. So yeah, I started buying them back, and I thought, I just wondered if anybody else was like doing like the collection thing, and I thought, like, because I weren't really dabbling much with YouTube back then. I've had an account since 2006, but I didn't obviously use it until 2011, like. And I started watching, do you know, like the big guys, like Pete Dorr, Silver Mongoose, and stuff like that. They was like big American collectors at the time. And I thought, there must be somebody in the UK out there that's doing this. And then that's when I like started finding, like Rob says, Ninja Beer Hug, X-Files 2708, Interghost, Jurassic Junkie, people like that. And I've realised that there was quite a strong like UK community as much as there was an American one. And yeah, I just kind of, nothing against the Americans or like that. I mean, they do their stuff, we do our stuff, but I'm more into the British stuff now that I know it's here, if you know what I mean. It's like I don't really bother with the American stuff much. There's a few channels and stuff like that, and yeah. And it was, I think it was Interghost actually that I started commenting on his videos, and he was the one who said, if you've got a collection, maybe you should upload your own videos. And then I did, and I did the, you know, the standard thing where you first start with, I don't know if you did it, where you go behind camera before you appear on the camera.
Yeah, that's how I started.
Yeah, just like showing pickups from behind the camera, like, and then obviously I showed my face, the hat came, that became a thing, and then the rest is history.
See, I was an idiot. I went straight on camera straight away, and I just was like straight in, head first sort of thing.
That's probably how you should do it, though. I think that's, yeah.
I mean,
you've done it the right way.
5 or 6 videos, and I think, God, that you can tell like I'm not relaxed or anything, and then as you get more relaxed, it becomes easier and more true content of yourself, really.
Yeah.
Because you know, you're there like a little bit robotic about what you're saying, whereas it starts to flow once you're relaxed in front of that camera, like sort of thing. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but people better when you're on camera. Like you will, like when I went from going in front of the, like my sub count grew massively because people just relate to it more rather than just being behind the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Gus Newton says, "Will you take your cap off?"
No.
There's nothing to see, Gross. Honestly, there's nothing to see.
There's no there, mate.
So you're obviously both passionate gamers. We'll throw this one to Shockz first this time. Now we can move it around a bit. Definitely. Where did gaming start for you?
I'm not a passionate gamer. I don't.
You know,
he hasn't touched a game since the year 2000.
Yeah, exactly. Gaming. This is just green screened. This isn't even real.
If it's not, then I'll have it.
What was the question?
Where did gaming start from you? You know, like as a kid, how did you like go from when you first experienced gaming up to probably where you are now?
For me, it started when my parents got an Atari 2600 back in the late 80s. It was the junior one, you know, the black one with the, you know, not the original, the smaller one.
This one.
And that's the one. That's the bad boy. And yeah, my parents just got one of those. I don't know where they got it from. I think they must have got it like second hand off a person at work or something like that. But that was kind of like the family console. It wasn't just mine. But the good thing about that is there used to be a guy that lived directly across the road from me who had like packing boxes just full of Atari carts. So he used to like lend us like 3 carts for a week for a pound. So I basically just had like this massive library of Atari games that I never gave back, even though he lived across the road. But so yeah, then from there, I got the Atari ST. That was my first like my own gaming system, which I absolutely loved that. Do you know what I mean? The monitor, the keyboard, and it had one of those. Can you remember those old dot matrix printers where you used to print out that slow?
with the spool on the end, and it used to go round.
Yeah, it used to go like, and then it used to go back, and it used to have like that paper, that perforated paper with the holes in the side. So yeah, I used to love that because I used to have an art program on it called Daygas or something like D-Gas or something like that. It's kind of like Photoshop, but not.
Did you used to draw dicks on it?
Yeah. Yeah, and then after that progressed to a Game Boy that I got for Christmas, which goes down as one of my best Christmases ever. Because I never used to get consoles for Christmas because my birthday is in October, you see. So I'd always get a console for my birthday. Then it would just be like games at Christmas. So that was the only gaming thing I ever got for Christmas. And then from there, I went on to the Super Nintendo, which was a birthday. I remember still buying that as well. 70 quid from Toys R Us, Starwing pack. It's up there. It's not the original one, but it's up there. And what did I go through?
Was that like a late edition? The Starwing pack. Because it wasn't a launch system. It was like a much later one.
Yeah,
was it like a year later or 2 years later?
It must have been a couple of years later, because like I said, it only cost me 70 quid, so and I don't know how much a brand new Super Nintendo would have cost back then. But I imagine that was quite cheap. It seemed quite cheap to me as a kid anyway, 70 quid, so... And then after that...
For a system, that was incredibly cheap, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And like I said, that was brand new from Toys R Us. I don't know if it was under an offer or anything like that. I just think that was just the going price of it when I got it, so... and then it was the Sega Saturn. And then I only had that for a couple of years though, believe it or not, and then I sold that in the classifieds in the Evening Post in the newspaper, and with that money that I sold that, I got the PlayStation, and then after that it was PlayStation 2, and then onto modern consoles, and that's how I'm here now. Basically in the year 2000 I sold everything because we moved from my family house because we moved like from Nottinghamshire, like city central, to the outskirts near Derbyshire, and I just sold everything rather than take it with me. I sold it all like an idiot, and that's what got me back into collecting, because obviously I regret selling it, and that's where I'm at now. So there you go.
How about you then, Rob? What's your journey, man? Your first memories and how you got to where you are now?
Yeah, well, I actually, to be honest with you, I consider myself a bit of a late bloomer when it comes to the console front, because I actually didn't really start. I wasn't really much of a gamer as a little kid, as a tween. I mostly I would play the odd handheld like the Nintendo Game & Watches, and my mum actually, the very first gaming anything I owned was a like Thomas the Tank Engine handheld, which is from like 1984, I think. I think she gave it to me when I was about 6 years old or something, and it was the only gaming anything I had for like a really long time. And then like when I was in primary school, I would try out, like a lot of kids had like the Game & Watches, so I would play a lot of those. And then how I got into console gaming was that my two closest friends at the time, both of them just happened to buy like NESs. They both, yes, they and I based my decision off of them. So like, it's like, if you say like the Master System was like massive in Europe and the NES wasn't that big. And for me, it was like the other way around. I actually thought the NES was very popular because my two closest friends had them, which in turn meant I had to get one. And then I also knew other people around my way that had NESs as well. Like I knew people that had Master Systems and home computers and stuff. Like I do remember a friend of mine, he had a Spectrum. And I remember going to his house and playing it, but I was not, what was that saying?
It's Woodlin.
It's Woodlin, yeah. That's right, they are excellent. That's right. They are, Woodlin, they're awesome. But anyway, yeah, so I remember playing the Spectrum, but I wasn't that impressed with it. So it wasn't really until the NES came along that it really sort of started to gain my interest in gaming. And then eventually I got a Game Boy, and then eventually I got the Mega Drive. And the reason I went from Nintendo to Mega Drive was because A, it came out first, and secondly, I remember seeing Sonic the Hedgehog for the first time as a kid, and I just absolutely was like fell in love with it. And at this point in time, the Super Nintendo wasn't even out. So like when I saw Sonic, like that was it for me. Like I had to buy the Mega Drive, and then eventually when the Super Nintendo came out, I wanted it as well, but not at the cost of my Mega Drive, because I still loved the Mega Drive, but I wanted the Super Nintendo, but my mum couldn't afford to get me like both systems, so I just kind of had to like grit and bear it. And I just eventually, what I ended up doing was I would swap consoles with my mate. I was lucky enough to be able to try out a lot of Super Nintendo games because I was able to swap consoles with my mates as well. So that's what kind of really got me into gaming. And then eventually I did actually have a 32X as well, which I regret owning. Obviously, it's that the 32X. Yeah, the 32X was actually why I didn't get the Saturn, because I got so burnt by the 2X. I was like, I don't trust you, Sega. I don't trust you anymore. You've lost my trust. So like I skipped on the Saturn and then went to PlayStation, and that's basically where I've been ever since.
So that's your journey up to where you are now. I'm just reading through a couple of comments. Someone saying Fat Plumber versus Super Slick Hedgehog. There was only going to be one winner, I think.
The Fat
That
Plumber.
wasn't Gus Newton either. I thought it was. This might be something that interests you, Shockz. Someone says they remember trying to eat a lot of quavers to try and win a Game Boy. Was that a giveaway or something back in the day?
Right.
I just thought, man, because I didn't know if like you wanted to try and win your Game Boy or something like that. So Shockz, you do different content as well, didn't you? You feature on a few other channels, so let's talk about that, because obviously, is it Gashead Steve you appear on, or someone else is obviously you on?
Colossal Vid. Colossal Vids. Not Colossal Vid. You don't like it when you say videos. Colossal Vids. Because I usually say Colossal Videos, but obviously that's not the channel name, it's Colossal Vids. So, but yeah, I appear on this channel quite a lot. You might see me over on Interghost. But yeah, I think I might have been on Gasheads as well, quite a bit.
Yeah, was Interghost one, or was that Colossal Vids when you were talking about? Were you picking games each or something? Your favourite games or something? You all sat on a settee. I think I was watching it. Or favourite films? Was it films?
Oh yeah, that's
It's nostalgia channels, like a nostalgia. Like it's about 90s movies and stuff. Movies and cartoons. On the couch,
weren't he?
Yeah.
What? The series where we sit on the couch is called Three Dudes and a Sofa. That's probably what you've seen.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because they go up on my channel. You see, I'm not saying that's the only reason why I've seen it, but one went up recently, so yeah, that's probably why you've seen it. But
or as Raz calls it, three cringing a couch.
But basically, yeah, it's just chatting shit about stuff. If it's not to your taste, it's not to your taste, is it? I'm not apologising just because some Swedish twat don't like it.
I really wish I'd have got Raz on with you now. Oh, you can imagine it would have been chaos between you two.
Raz is like that brother that nobody wants.
The one that was left behind.
No. Raz, I love Raz. He's one of the fun. Listen, I'll say this. Right, when I met Raz, oh my god, I was so pleasantly surprised by how crazy the guy is. Like he's crazy, but in a good way. He was so entertaining. I've met him twice now in person, and he's such an entertaining person, man. He's a top bloke. If anything, I will base my decision whether I go to an event if Raz is coming.
If he's going, don't go. Is that what?
Yeah. He's a funny guy, man. I like hanging with him. I genuinely do.
Do you want to know what my first thought of when I met Raz?
Yeah.
How old is his fucking Facebook picture?
I've not been on his Facebook. I don't know where. I've never been on it. I'm not saying it.
His Facebook photo's got to be from the 90s, I reckon, compared to when I've been in. I was like, who's this old bloke? He looks like Raz, but he's older than him.
Oh, dude. Who was it who made it? Who was it who made him show that picture the other night where he looks like he's from some kind of from like?
I wanted to see that picture for ages. It's just how he's got it run.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's just because like he's got like nostalgia, like gaming and movie stuff. So then he's got the family portrait in the middle. I just wanted to see it, and I think so did Jay as well.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Have you ever
steal it?
Say go.
No, every time he does a pickups video, every time Raz does a pickups video, I find myself, my eyes always gravitate towards his family picture. I don't know why.
Do you know what it reminds me of?
I think it's because they've got like such. Go on.
Yeah, it reminds me of yeah, Children of the Corn. It reminds me of that Bonnie Tyler. Is it Bonnie Tyler? That totally clips to the heart. You know where the little choir boy turns around. It goes, turn around, brothers. And it's got like lights coming out of his eyes. He looks like that. It reminds me of that.
To be fair, I'm probably just jealous because I see that it's like they have like such amazing hair. Like in the pictures. That's probably what it is. That's why I'm drawn to it. Because they just have like such an amazing like flowing blonde hair.
Stu says it looks like Ghostbusters where the in case you're wondering what you're watching, it's Take the Piss Out of Raz live stream tonight.
I'd like to point out that I give Raz a lot of shit, but I only give it him because he gives it me.
Yeah, he does it with everyone though.
Like I said, I don't want you to think that I don't like the guy. Do you know what I mean? It is just banter sometimes.
He's bringing a lot of it on himself. I think because he thinks he's far away in Sweden, he can say what he wants, and he's not going to put that off.
Oh yeah, he's got his little excuse, hasn't he? He does that thing where he offends everybody and then goes, "Well, English is not my first language. Fuck off."
Brilliant.
Oh Lord.
Anyway, someone's asked me, and Daz did mention it. I want to know about Rob's claim to fame. I'm hoping it's the same thing Daz mentioned. Was it something to do with the Ali G movie? Were you in the Ali G movie?
Yes, it has everything to do. It has everything to do with the Ali G movie. I was in that. Yeah, I was. Way back in, I think it was 2001, 2000. So I was 19. I was 19 when I filmed it, and it came out in 2001. And I didn't tell a single soul. No one knew about it except for like I actually ended up getting the part because a friend of mine originally went for it and they didn't get it. He didn't get it, but they asked him if he knew anyone else, and he recommended me. That's how I ended up getting the part, just for a recommendation of a mate.
So, what was your role in the Ali G the movie then? Come on, talk us through
it. There's anything, to be honest with you, like it started off. To be honest with you, I was a glorified extra. I did initially have a speaking role, but all my scenes where I spoke got cut from me. So I'm basically like a glorified extra. I'm part of the like if you remember that Ali G always used to rep like the West Side Massive. Like he was
East Side is the best. West Side is the best.
Yeah, exactly. True. That's right. Go back and watch it, and you'll see a very fresh-faced Rob.
Rob, I always meant to ask you as well. Do you know that scene in the park where the West Side meets the East Side, and West Side go, West Side is the best. Booyakasha. What does the East Side say?
I'm trying to remember. It's a wickedy wackety shot, right?
That's it.
Wickedy wackety shot, right?
Yeah, because that's the scene I remember you from.
Fucking. I think Amazon Prime.
Do you want to know something?
Go on.
But you know, there was a really funny scene of me. Unfortunately, it got cut out of the film, where we're in the kids' playground, and I'm sitting on this like little tiny rocking horse, and I'm like rocking on the rocking horse back and forth with like the serious, most scary look on my face. Like, cause the idea was Ali G was meant to go driving around the park, and then he spots me in the playground, and I'm on this like really tiny rocking horse, rocking back and forth on it, with like the most serious like grill stare, like most hardcore screwy face. And unfortunately, it never made the cut.
Oh man.
I think Netflix and Amazon Prime are going to have a high viewing of Ali G in the house over the next few days. There's at least 20-something people going to be going and watching it.
Maybe my residuals could go up. Maybe my residuals will go up.
Can we hear him?
Yes, you fucking can.
Hey! Are you found a mic? He's found a mic.
Can I just say?
CX.
Can I just say thanks to Tootie? This is all down to Tootie. Cheers,
What,
pal.
you getting your headset that quick?
I'm sat here at the side of my PS4 headset, and I've tried everything to get everything working. Stuart's helped me for about 20 minutes trying to get some audio. We just can't do it through the laptop. And he says, "Have you got a PS4 headset with fucking USB?" Yes, I have, but I've not charged it for the longest time, so it'll probably go off in a minute.
You've just missed the Ali G story as well. You've literally joined us the Ali G story.
Anyway, I've already heard that. Anyway, it's fucking awesome. Yeah. We were all totally blown away when Rob told us that. We were like, "What the fuck off?"
Yes.
Like, "Oh, really?"
Do you care to explain this? Whoever drops from the
Yes.
toilet.
Yes. No, this was funny as hell. This was in Blackpool at the replay event in Blackpool. When was it? I think it was 2016. And basically, what it was, I was trying to make my way to the toilets, but I can't remember because you know the event. If you go inside of the hotel, there's one side of the hotel, and for whatever reason, I can't remember why, but I ended up going to the other side of the hotel, and I went to go use the toilets, and I think the regular toilets were out of order for some reason. So I went to go use the disabled toilets, and I opened the door, and there was Rich King Retro having a shit. But what's so funny about it was, this is a hotel that has 100 people. It's literally like at the other end of the hotel. This is a massive hotel in Norbrick, right? There's like hundreds of people between the event itself and these toilets. And now one of the people that I walk in on is fucking Rich King Retro having a shit. I said to him, "Why don't you close the fucking door, you idiot?" That could have been some 5-year-old kid like going in there and just gets to see this guy having a shit in the toilets.
I don't know what Daz is doing, but he's been getting up and down quite a lot for an old guy his age. I'm worried his knees are going to go. Fucking hell. Oh,
Lord.
Poor Rich King Retro, man. I bet you. Did he have like that rabbit in the headlight looks as you open the door? Like,
No, he did not.
Rob did.
It was like a pure look of shock, and then we just started laughing. It was hilarious because it was so unexpected. It was so unexpected. Like, I was like, I mean, it could have been, I swear, it could have been anyone. And it had to be someone within the community, which is what made it so funny. Because that's what that Norbrick.
I think, and I hope you're the only person I've got who's walked in on someone else in the community having a shit on Moss Room, to be honest. You're all right, Daz.
Yeah, we're on backup power now. I've got some backup power for my headset. So. I have got technology here, you motherfuckers.
I was going to say, you've got a really expensive charging bank and Poundland fucking earphones.
They fucking...
Not them ones, the ones you had in earlier. Them ones you had in earlier are Pound.
Well, they work, so I'm a fucking Yorkshireman. What can I tell you? I want value for money. Not like you Southerners, washing your feet in champagne and fucking... You know.
There's the man with 4 arcade cabs behind him.
Right then, welcome to my stream. Can I just say... Dana totally fucked that up completely. I don't know what he's fucking running here. It's an absolute shit show of a fucking event. Hello! How's everybody doing?
He does know I can just remove him like this, doesn't he? All the power here.
I don't know where to look. No, thanks for the invite, Dane. And these two fucking chances here are only here because of me, you motherfuckers. You know who I am? What did I miss then?
Well, you've got some questions to answer, so he gives Shockz16 a break. Basically, we asked...
yeah, shut the fuck up, you two.
Where did we start first? How have you been during lockdown, Daz? That was probably the first thing you've missed.
I've been at fucking work, well, like I say, while your cunts are at home washing your feet in champagne. Right? And living off my fucking tax.
Daz, the mic's too loud, mate. Too loud.
No, I can mute him as well.
I don't have to come here for abuse, you know. I'll go downstairs and talk to the wife. No, I've not been not at work. So we manufacture a few pharmaceutical and military products. So we're deemed as essential. So basically, you're welcome.
Oh, thank you very much.
Now, I put a few holiday days in at the beginning of it just to see how it was going to pan out. And to be honest, I'd said to my boss, if it gets sketchy, just don't pay me. I'm not coming in, just don't fucking pay me. But it's not got sketchy. And yeah, they're doing everything they can for us, actually. We're wiping everything down. And my hands are basically in IPA all day anyway. So, you know, they're about as well. Yeah, that's where I get the shine from. Yeah, you see, Shockz used to have hair before he met me. He just copies everything I do.
You need to get a
He grew the fucking beard when I had a beard, so now I've had to go back to the bald face. He'll probably do that again. But no, everything's okay. We are fine at the moment, and I hope everybody out there is as well that's watching. Stay safe.
Yeah. Then the next thing we went on to is probably YouTube journey is the best way. You know,
fucking hell.
This is where we can all go and get another beer, or I can go and have
I don't think
back in 20 minutes, and he'll be still on his first channel.
I don't think there's enough time left in the fucking stream to talk about that. Really, you want me to go from the beginning?
Start from the beginning. Why you got into it? What it was like at the beginning? Why you deleted all your content, your good stuff in there? You send there what you have there.
I'm not sure I can answer that one, but
yeah, floating head. Don't forget when you did the floating head as well.
That will return. The green screen will return. Yeah. So I mean, I my hobby is hobbies. I've always said that. I've done everything from model car racing to fishing to field target shooting and everything in between. I've tried everything and everything at least twice, and. For a long time, I've been interested in motorcycles, and those that know me and will know that I've spoke about that before. And just come off the back of a couple of big projects. I'd been in the garage for like 6 years, and I remembered. Well, I didn't remember, but I thought, what can I do? I want to come back inside. I want to get out of the cold, drafty garage. I want to come back inside. You know, what can I do that's inside? And I thought, you know what? I'll get back into my video gaming because that's something that I've done since I was like 12. You know, maybe younger even. So I thought I really enjoyed my Mega Drive and the time that I had my Japanese Mega Drive. So I thought I'll get that. So I bought a Japanese Mega Drive and I bought some games. And I was just on YouTube one day and just typed in Japanese Mega Drive, and here we are now. So no, and I think I found. I'm fucked if I can remember his name for a minute. But there was a guy that he was going for a Japanese Mega Drive set, and he's not been on Ian somebody. Other guys might remember him. Can you remember him? Ian somebody? No?
He'll probably put it in the comments because he knows every fucker.
Yeah, he'll probably. He was before him. He had a full set before him. But no, it was a guy, really interesting chap, and he'd not got a full set, but he got quite a few. And I thought, fucking hell, that's really cool. That, you know, he's got like lots. And the thing about me is, back in the day, we had fuck all money, right? We had nothing up here in the north. We had nothing. Shockz will tell you, but he's a little bit more south, but he'll tell you. So, you know, you start looking at the games that you wanted that you didn't get, you know what I mean? And that sort of thing. So within, you know, a couple of months, I'd amassed quite a few games, and obviously found YouTube and the community and all the rest of it. And then what we call the YouTube vortex, I kind of got sucked into that, you know, hard and deep. I was sucked hard and deep for the first time in my life. And, yeah, I kind of started getting inspired by all the other tubers and what they were into. You know, I met like-minded people and started finding other systems that I'd had, but also other systems that I'd not had as well, like the PC Engine, for instance, which is, interestingly enough, the only collection that's left in here. And I know I've not done the room tour yet, which I'm going to do. But that's the only collection that's left. And, you know, I've gone round everywhere and everything and through everything and around everywhere. And it's basically been inspiration via YouTube and the people that I've met on it and their interests, because it's really difficult not to get sort of not dragged along, but get inspired by that, you know, and people's enthusiasm and what they into and stuff, especially if it's stuff that you didn't have yourself or never experienced because you might not have been able to afford it back then, or you just weren't involved in that back then. You know what I mean? So it opened up a whole world to me of systems and getting. I mean, my systems were always Japanese back in the day, because that's the thing. Back in the day, it was Japanese imports. That was one. It was really cool, and two, you got the stuff before we did in the UK, and you got stuff that never came to the UK. So obviously, finding guys like Jay, who we had on the other night, and other Japanese collectors, and Rob especially as well. I've bought 2 games today because of you, Rob. Yeah, and. You know, and just looking at what other people are looking at and are suggesting that you play, and you see something and you think, oh, I'd really like that. Or that sounds like it's up my street, you know, but you might not have even known about it. It's easy to get tagged along with that, and before you know it, you've got a load of games that have been recommended to you that, you know, you're never going to get time to play. So my journey has been absolutely a pure YouTube community journey, because if you look from that aspect anyway, from the collecting aspect, definitely I wasn't a collector back in the day. I was a gamer, and I bought games and I played them because I couldn't afford to own a lot of them. Like a lot of us did, we traded them in to get something else, or we sold it on to get something else. I never had a big collection. I only ever had a few, or maybe 1 or 2 at any one time. And then suddenly, when you sat in a room full of games, and you've got too much choice, then that's a different thing altogether. But I'm not going to get into that whole collector v gamer thing, because I think we're all basically the same. We're all interested in the same thing. But I think you can be swayed into collecting, and that will restrict your gaming, because you know you spend more time collecting than you do actually playing the games you're collecting. And I've done that, as you've seen, you know, well, on my previous channel, those of you that saw that, for 10 years, I went through a huge, big whirlwind of inspiration, buying, selling, rebuying, because we all do that, and don't say you don't, you know, and then getting back to the point where I am now, with these things, the cabs, where it's just one game, you know, and that's just a pure playing experience. And it's just come back to that. It's just come back to the playing. So yeah, that's a really long-winded, terribly described way of telling you what my journey's been. But it's I wouldn't change it for the world. It's been a process, and I think I see a lot of the new channels as well. These guys that are just starting, and it's great to see them interacting with each other like we did back in the day, and meeting each other for the first time, and meeting like-minded people, and how cool that is. And it's really, really evocative as well. You know, you really get into it. And we'll meet people, they'll meet people, and that we'll meet people that'll be mates for the rest of our lives, you know. And we're all the same here. You know, we met each other a few times. I mean, Shockz is like my fucking brother, you know, the ugly version. But you know, and Rob, any guy, you're tooting yourself down, you know what it's like when we all get together. It's like we've known each other for donkey's years, and it's getting to the point where we have known each other for a lot of years. But it was almost like that. It was almost like that instantaneously. I know that Raz and Jay were talking about that first year in Manchester, and I'll never forget that as long as I live. As somebody who never had a lot of friends growing up, certainly not into gaming anyway, not into what I was. Man, that was an epic weekend, and it was like joining a cult. Where everyone was the same, and we're all, you know, on a level, and it's the same now. So I wouldn't change anything for the world. I would do it all again, and I'd do it twice on Sunday. But it is a journey. I think that a lot of us need to understand that it is a journey, and it's, you know, you'll take your path within that.
I will say as well, it's such a relief when you finally do get to meet people in person and you actually click with them.
Yeah.
Because that's always your first worry. That's always your first worry when you go to these events for the first time. I remember when I went to play Blackpool in 2016. That was where I met. I mean, I think I met you, Daz, and Shockz a bit before that. But the first time I met most people was in. We went to play. Was it called the Play Nation games?
Yeah, Play Nation in London, weren't it? Was it London?
Yeah. So we got a chance to meet up beforehand, but it was also good from when we met up then, and also play Blackpool, that you think to yourself, thank fuck I get along with everyone, because it would have been really awkward. What's up, Gashead? What's
Oi,
up,
oi.
mate?
I can't see comments, but
That's
then
another
again,
top.
I do highlight.
Can I just-
them up,
can I-
Dad. I do highlight some of them up. Someone asked, was it,
I don't know what's going on. I only come in about 3 minutes ago, and I'm a bit old.
was it Ian Wilson? Someone asked, was it Ian Wilson that YouTuber
Yeah.
you were on?
yes, it was Ian
Yeah,
Wilson.
Horatio asked Ian Wilson. Okay.
Yeah. Sean's been around a long time as well. Ratio Van Basten. He's
Horatio Van Basten.
Yeah.
Shout out,
Yeah.
top fella.
Yeah, he's a top guy. Sean. I've still got the pixel art of Shadow Dancer who did me on my door over here. Yeah, it's a
Holy
top
Yeah,
guy.
I've
Guys,
still got some beat 'em up. I think he sent me some beat 'em ups a long time ago now. So
Someone's in the chat
Hey.
who I haven't
What's up,
seen
Matt?
on YouTube for
What's
a
up,
long
Matt?
time. He needs to get his arse into gear and either get on this stream with me one night, or he needs to start producing some content. Is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
use that soul
Matt.
funk.
Yeah.
Soul
Matt,
Funk, yeah,
Matt.
Soul funk.
Matt, what happened to your arcade you were setting up in Nottingham? He'd got a virtual reality arcade he was setting up in Nottingham. We were all going to go down and harass him. Yeah, that didn't come to anything. What happened there, Matt?
Oh, he did the retro market in Nottingham, didn't he?
Yeah, he was involved in the retro gaming market.
Yeah.
'cause I was due to sell there, but obviously that's off. And that was the next thing I was going to say, man. There's a lot of events suffered, man. Obviously, the arcade club that was going to be last weekend, that was on. Daz, obviously, although he doesn't want to admit it, he did organise the first one that we did the year before. And it pretty much looks like we're going to misplay Blackpool and everything. Is that a Soul Funk original?
It is. That's one. It's a one-off. That's my all the bosses from Shadow Dancer. Oh yeah, pretty cool. Shockz is going to try and upstage me now, the bastard. Yeah, Matt did me that a long time ago, and he's done me the first level as well. But I'm yet to find a space for that. Cheers for that, Matt. Still got that,
Said,
mate.
yeah, I had it. Kind of went bust. Lost 10 grand.
I've been there, brother.
Well, you could have invited us all before it went fucking bust, to be honest.
If you've invited us, it might not have gone bust, mate.
I'm going to say we might as well have had some share of that 10 grand.
Ah, yeah, that's nice.
That is badass. That is badass. That's badass. I love that. That is awesome.
Even I've got some Soul Funk. I've got it, Ryu, clipped to the side of my unit here. A picture of Ryu. That's off, Matt.
I wish I were good at copying and pasting other people's work and making money on it.
Are you talking about his pictures or his gaming programming now?
That's unfair. That's unfair because he actually made that up himself. That's unfair. So he's not just grabbed that from somewhere. So if you look at the end, you've actually got. You see the main character. He's like in shadow behind himself. I think that's fucking super cool.
Nice.
Badass
That
that
looks
is.
sick,
So
that looks amazing.
Yeah.
That looks
it's fucking
badass.
awesome. I love it. I fucking
Mine's
love
actually
it.
a one-off piece as well. It's not a mass-produced thing.
This too as well. Did me those.
He had to do the thing.
So that's R-Type and Radiant Silvergun. So he did me those two as well. Top laddies, Matt. You're right. I did him on Meet the Tuber. You know, before you stole Meet the Tuber, Dana, and did it all in a week.
I've not done the tuber. I'm not.
Yeah. So Dana's met more tubers within 1 week than I did in 26 fucking episodes.
Mine's called hanging out with arseholes, mate. No, it's not called Meet the Tuber at all.
But now it's it's a good guy, Matt. And they all are. You know, everybody you meet is. I'm yet to meet an arsehole.
Have you not met Tootie UK then?
There's that saying though, isn't there? If you're in a room and you look around and you can't see who the arsehole is, it's you.
So, Shockz, you've got a full Saturn set, am I correct, yeah?
You are correct, yes.
I am, yeah. Daz, you've got your arcade cab. So, Rob, what's your passion collecting for then? What you was doing the Switch today. I saw your Switch collection. Very nice.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm a bit here and there. I like a lot of the console stuff, but I do put effort into. I don't really go for full sets, but I do like to go for the really good titles, the ones that really sort of appeal to me and are generally good games. You know, like my Game Boy Advance collection, my box collection is, I would say, is pretty good. It's definitely one of the gems in all of my collecting. I love my Game Boy Advance games because there's some proper crackers on there. Some amazing games. I've got a very good Mega Drive set. I've got a lot of the sought after titles, but the good ones though, the really good games. Like I don't like buying like expensive crap. Like that just really bugs the shit out of me. Like I'm not the only one that goes for full sets or anything, but like
Excuse me,
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it.
Yeah. You're not a set of wankers. No offense.
Hey mate.
Well, Daz, you're on the fucking way.
From a full setter, I would even tell you. No, from a full setter, even I would tell you not to go for a full set.
No, I just can't bring myself to justify to pay like speaking Mega Drive, I know like Death and Return of Superman, which is one of the most average beat 'em ups ever, and it's like £500. It's like no way.
Well, Celtics versus Bulls, or whatever it is.
Yeah, but that game is. I don't even count that game because that game is like so unbelievably scarce that you'd have to I don't know, like sell soul or something to even get that game. It's ridiculous. Like,
Sell your arsehole.
yeah. I don't think I'm even worth that much.
Before I forget, Dad, you picked up saying you didn't regret any of your journey. Do you wish you could get some of your videos back on your old channel?
Yeah, I've been trying and I can't do it. That's one thing I didn't go into there, wasn't it? Why I deleted the old channel. Do you want me to go into that?
It's kind of like why I asked the question, really.
Yeah. So I'll be honest with you guys, and I'm always honest. And a lot of people are quite surprised when I tell them that I've got anxiety issues. And you can take the piss. I'm not going to be offended if you take the piss out of that. So at that time, I was in a really, really bad place. I have to say, I was in a really dark place. It was a really low moment. And I did the whole, I'm going to hide my channel thing for a bit and see how I feel about it. And anybody that knows me will tell you that I'm either 150% in or fucking minus 50 out. You know what I mean? I'm that extreme from one thing to the other. And I felt like it had come to an end. I'll be honest with you, I was kind of bored with my own content. It felt like Groundhog Day. I didn't think I'd got anything new to add or say. But the one thing, and this is what I apologised for when I came back, the one thing I didn't appreciate was what it meant to other people. Now, I'm not saying at all that I am somebody, right? Please don't think that I'm saying that for a second. But I had a lot of communication from people that said, that's a shame because it meant this to me, or it used to help me relax in this way, or, you know, just lighten my day a bit, and that kind of really hit home. It really hit me hard, and I thought, shit, you know, that I didn't consider that for a second. It was a totally selfish thing. I felt like I felt like I'd come to the end of the journey. Like I said, it's 10 years, you know, a long time, and it wasn't to come away from the community or anything like that. Because as you know, I started up again doing something else. I figured I still wanted to do the YouTube thing, but I felt like I'd done and said everything I needed to with gaming, and so I was bored of it. And it was just one night. I was down a good sort of 3/4 of a bottle of Sea Dog, and I was at a low point. And so I went to the computer and I was trying to hide the content. I thought I'll just hide it, you know. And that's another. It's like a pussy thing to do. A lot of people do that as well to fucking try and gain attention. They'll like hide this shit just so people go, "Oh, where have you gone?" And then they'll come back and go, "Oh, it's okay, I'm back." You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. I thought I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So as I'm stood there trying to. Yeah, as I'm stood there trying to hide it, it just wouldn't do it. Fuck off, cunt. I'm fucking burying myself in.
Hello, everybody.
I'm fucking burying myself in. Yeah, we'll not go there. But you know, exactly that, actually. Yeah, exactly that. I thought, I don't want to do that.
I'll say it. I don't mind taking the flak.
You fucking cut it, you do. So yeah, as I'm stood there doing it, I thought to myself, well, this is what they do. I'm doing exactly what they do. I'm either out or I'm in. And I just deleted it. I just thought, you know what? I'm out. And I deleted it. But as I say, after that, it was a moment of pure selfishness. And after that, I thought, no, that's as I started getting these comments and stuff, I realised that it meant something else to somebody else, not just to me. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that it didn't mean anything to me, because that's, you know,
I'll chuck
that's
it out
not
there.
true.
If you're a hobbyist like channel, like everyone here is, I don't think you probably appreciate your own content as much as others, because we're not up our own arses as much.
Yeah,
I just do a video and then I forget about that video. You know what I mean? I probably forget what I've said or done in that video, but obviously someone else might watch it and something that I've said will ring something with them, and you'll see them at the next event, or you'll be chatting on WhatsApp, and you'll be thinking that was a throwaway comment for me, if you know what I mean. But
exactly that. And it was Jay. I think it was Jay. Sorry, go on, Rob.
You go. Go on, Rob.
No. I was just saying, I still get comments on some of my videos from like years ago, like sometimes 4 years ago. I just get this random like new comments, and people say to me like, you know, oh yeah, you're absolutely right. So there are still people that appreciate stuff that you've done years ago that you've long forgotten about. You know, like, because a lot of times I'm like, what the hell is this guy even talking about? Because I've even forgotten what the topic of my video was. You know, so I have to rewatch my video and stuff. So yeah, it just goes to show you that, you know, people do appreciate your stuff. It's just that you just kind of, you make it and then you forget all about it. But, you know, you forget that while your video is still on there, it's still available for people to watch.
Yeah. The major regret is the Meet the Tubers that I did, as we were saying before. That is the major regret, because those people put their time into that as well as it being my time. And
that's the sad part. Listen.
I need that to go on record as well, that I apologise for that, because I don't think that those videos just belong to me.
So you didn't have anything backed up then, Daz? You didn't have anything at all?
No, I've never done that.
You have an headset till 10 fucking minutes.
This is true, yeah.
Whenever I upload something, that's it. I delete it off my laptop.
I thought you might have like one of those women, like, you know, like in court where they like type things down. That's his hard drive.
I've got fucking nothing, mate. Everyone thinks I'm this fucking rich philanthropist. I've got nothing. You know, back in the day, you all had yo-yos. I had a fucking yo.
What's that, Daz? You mean? What's that, Daz? You mean you don't live in a castle? I could have sworn you lived in a castle, Daz.
No, mate, not a castle.
He used to have to push his bike uphill 10 miles to get loaf for bread.
That's right. To pay mill owner for me to go to work. No, but that's another reason why I think I have collected. It's because I didn't have it back in the day. And I wanted it now, and I got it. And then once I got it, I thought, what do I want that for?
Sorry.
I collect to stop me spending it on fucking beer, if I'm honest.
No, you're like too. You just collect it to flip it and make fucking hard cash. That's what you do.
Only certain things. You know, my hardest gripe is, it's like if I buy something really fucking cheap for my own collection, I can't sell that because I'm thinking in years to come I'll make even more. Like I've paid £1 for that, and I'm like, oh, that'll be worth loads. That will.
See, my latest passion is not on YouTube at all. I've not been showing it at all, and that's my mods and my Game Boys. And I think you'll find that one person here has such a device, which he's very happy with.
Yes, I do have one.
And another person as well.
I've got one. Fucking amazing.
Fucking hell, there's only Shockz16.
How do you? And he's like complimentary. Does he send them out to? Like...
No. Special price to you though, mate.
I'll keep liking the Instagram posts.
Cheers, pal.
Big Game Al's a new channel, Planet Retro. He said he's in arcade club, Daz.
Looks like
he does.
I watched his latest video today.
He does.
It's not. It's just 4. There's only 4.
Have you got the screen fixed on that one yet? Or
in fact, I messaged Arcade One Up this week, and they said, "Oh yes, we're very sorry, but due to coronavirus, you're fucked." Now, basically said it's on its way. Don't worry about it. I mean, I'm not fucking worried. Your cunt should be worried. you know why?
Is it coming from America? Is it that?
Yeah. So
Don't worry, I can't even get fucking overlays for my fucking Vectrex, and he only lives up the fucking road. I'm like, might as well get in the car and fucking fetch him.
I know it's bollocks because what they do is if you go on Arcade 1-Up's official website, they've got a US portal and a UK portal for contact for to get in touch. So I got in touch with the UK guys because I bought it. It's the Street Fighter, so you can still see the line on it there. I bought that from Amazon, luckily enough, so I'd got proof of purchase and stuff. And that was the first thing they asked me for. Can we have a copy of your receipt and proof of purchase so we can see how old it is? And I literally had it 2 weeks, which is piss poor for that. So they said, okay, yeah, it seems like you've got a problem. But at the same time, I'd imported the Gallagher, so you can't get that in the UK currently, and you can't get the Final Fight either currently in the UK. And there's the Star Wars and all the rest of it. If you want them, you've got to import them yourself. And the only way to do that really at the minute is via eBay. So a lot of people are charging stupid fucking money via eBay. And these Gallagher, I saw a post of on Instagram of someone took a picture in a Walmart in America, and get ready to cry, right? These Gallagher cabinets were piled high, right, in the shop, and it said $30.
Fucking hell.
And how much did you pay?
150 quid. So yeah, they're giving them away. They're fucking giving them away in America. But a lot of people are charging stupid postage. But if you look for a seller that's using the eBay portal or parcel hub, whatever they call it,
global shipping program.
That's the one, mate. Yeah, that's very reasonable, and that's why I bought Final Fight and Gallagher. So I bought those both from one seller in America, and the postage was like 120 quid.
Did you get hit on import?
No, that's including they include the import tax and everything on that. So, but I had to have Gallagher. Once I'd got Space Invaders, I had to have Gallagher. And when I saw the Final Fight cab, I was like, "Fuck, man, I've got to have that. It's brilliant." So yeah, but that's that. They're great. They're a great little thing.
They've got a Tails cab. They've got a Tails cab, and they've got the 4-player Tails cab as well.
Yeah.
That looks awesome.
They're releasing new ones all the time. And if you go on YouTube, there's a whole sub community just like ours of people modifying these things. So what I'm going to do with the Street Fighter is I've already got a Raspberry Pi from Beeps, and I've got all the bits and pieces to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn Street Fighter into a Gyrus Time Pilot cab. So I'm going to have some custom artwork made and all the rest of it, and that's going to be just for that. So I'll make like a mini cab.
Mentioned about getting the marquees lit up.
Yeah, they do marquees, and they also do the. These are all on risers. You can't see it because I've got this couch in front of them all now, but they do a lit up riser as well. You can get like a front panel so the riser lights up as well. They're really cool. The one thing that they do suffer with is one, there's no scan lines, so that's the thing. You need to understand that. But the buttons and stuff as well are quite cheap, so you'd be better off swapping those out for Sanwa or Shimizu buttons and sticks, because they're built to a spec. You know what I mean?
That's an interesting one. Goodwin's Place. I'm not sure if you know his channel. They're doing a pinball 1-up-2 as well. Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Goodwin's Place might be something that you might want to watch, Daz, because he does a lot of modifications and repairs himself. So all right,
yeah, cool.
Or if you want to know. Because I'm going to send him a Mega Drive 2. I've been promising to send him a couple of weeks, but it's not an essential package in theory. But he will look at stuff. If you've got any stuff you're stuck on, he's a really good guy. What I was going to say is, because I know you guys had a little joke about it earlier, but obviously I think all three are passionate about it. The way YouTube's gone with Patreon and people expecting money, I'll let Shockz go first, because I know you're quite strong on the old merch. Try not to mention anyone's name. We'll keep it as fair as that. We won't single anyone out.
Sure, can't do that.
All right, I got to be careful then.
That's Shockz16.
I'm not too worried about it. None of the fuckers watch me anyway. I'm just trying to not be as big a cunt as I am normally.
That glass is still empty, so I'm just going to get a refill.
So, what was the question?
You know what the question was. It's about Patreon and people expecting to make money out of YouTube when they're not really earning it. My theory is, if you're good enough, you'll get the subs, you'll get the views. I
Yeah,
don't think anyone making money off Google as a company. It's when they expect their supporters, fans, whatever you want to call it, be funding their passion.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I've got no problem with people that use Patreon. It's, do you know what I mean? If you can raise money off your channel, go ahead, do it. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to get paid for doing fuck all, basically, but yeah, it's these people that use Patreon and they make out that it's for your benefit. It's like, donate to me and I can get a new cat. It's like, what's wrong with the camera you're already using? Do you know what I mean?
And it's like to make more videos for you. It'll free up more times for me to make videos.
Yeah, that's another one. Without your like Patreon support, this channel couldn't go on. But you started it without Patreon, so why all of a sudden do you need it to carry on? It's like it's not. YouTube don't charge you to have a channel, so why do you need money to keep you? Do you know what I mean? Just cut your video content down. Do you know what I mean? If you can't do it every day, just cut your content down. Do you know what I mean? Because the only reason why you're probably doing it every day anyway is to get that Patreon winner. So, it just does my head when they just make out that it's for your benefit. It's not for my benefit, mate. It's your rent that's getting paid. It's not my fucking rent that's getting paid for your Patreon, is it? but yeah, without going too deep into it and probably offending a lot of, I'll cut it off there. I'll say what I've said.
What's your views, Rob? Because obviously you having a little joke about it. As I do, you know, I'm probably one of the fucking people who quite voiced my opinion on it in the past and said I don't agree with it as well. So, you know.
Joke, go to my Patreon, mate. Go to my Patreon, mate.
Robert G in the Patreon house.
If you for $15, he will actually tell you his opinion on it.
No, honestly, no. In all seriousness, I'm actually like I don't necessarily mind the idea of Patreon. I don't mind it at all. It's just more of because it is optional at the end of the day. Like people, you're not made to pay. It's optional. So the guy is still putting out. People are still putting out content, regardless of whether you fund them in Patreon or not. But I do kind of feel that sometimes some people abuse it. But there are times I think where I think I'm not going to say justified, but I think they clearly put a lot of effort into their videos and a lot of time and work goes into it. So like, you know, I just think to myself, maybe they just can't keep it up and still have a full-time job. I mean, I don't know, but like personally, I don't necessarily mind it as long as you don't limit your content to just to those people that are paying your Patreon. So if you hold back content from people that are subbing to your channel just because you want to provide exclusive content to those that are paying on your Patreon, I don't like that, because that's out of order. That's like a kick in the teeth. Because that's like saying you pay me or I don't give you.
So it's almost like blackmail.
Well, yeah. Really? I mean, it just honestly just like I just think it's a bit of a bad taste.
I'm just laughing at Mike's comment.
I didn't see what he said. What did he say?
He said I would pay some of these bigger YouTubers. They stopped making some content.
Stop showing me your tits. Stop showing me your legs. Don't fucking want to know, right? Stop standing at events with a fucking microphone and a fucking sidekick, right? Pretending to fucking be somebody. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Gemma.
Horatio Van Basten, what Horatio Van Basten just said there, he's on point. People who are asking for Patreon and they've only got like less than 500 subs or some bollocks like that. Like, fuck off, seriously.
And selling
got less than 200
people who've got fucking 200 subs and they're trying to flog a t-shirt.
Yeah. Don't forget to buy those. Don't forget to buy those coasters though.
I'm still waiting for my jacket. I'm still waiting for my jacket of hate from Shockz.
I don't get enough of it no more to make them. I'm
No,
like
no, no.
I'm like Rumpelstiltskin. You know how he used to weave the straw? I used to weave the hate into jackets.
Right, you might want to get a drink, you two, because we're now going to have Daz's opinion on it.
What's
Yeah,
that
okay.
mean?
I'm gonna go have a nap. I'm gonna go take a nap. I'll come back in about 2 hours.
I know you feel
But you
strongly
put fucking hours worth on me, you two cunts. Right. Now, I had very strong opinions about this in the early days. And I agree. I think my opinion comes from, it's based in the community. So I think if you start your channel as a community channel and you run it for years as a community channel, and this is for the community and I'm doing this to be part of the community, because that's why a lot of us started this, is to, a lot of people say, oh, I did this so I could get involved, and I saw you guys having a chat and sharing ideas and this and that, and you're having a good time, and I wanted to get involved, and they're the people that we welcome in all the time. Yeah, come in, it's fucking great, have a chat, have some banter, you know, talk about your passion. And so if you build a channel on that, then that's your foundation. Now, if you start a channel and you openly say, I'm starting this channel for a bit of extra cash, I've got a Patreon, and as Rob says, you know, if you can donate to it if you want, if you don't, that's cool, blah, blah, blah. But it for me, it leaves a bitter taste in the mouth when it's someone that you knew from when they very first started, and you supported them, and they supported you, and the rest of the community took them in and brought them along, and they've gradually built up, and then they say, oh, I'm going to start doing Patreon now, and you know, you can pay me and you can buy my t-shirt, and I'm branding myself, I'm now this, because it makes you think that maybe that was the agenda all along. And I think that's what really doesn't sit well with me. It's when someone's portrayed themselves as a community player like us lot, and no airs and graces, and you know, they've just come up from being in a very grounded position to a point where they think they can make money from it, and I don't think that's like a modern disease. It's like a modern social media disease. It's like being an Instagrammer or being a professional this or that. I want to be a professional YouTuber because, you know, I can do this or that. Now, the one thing I do agree with is monetization. If you want to monetize your videos, then that means you'll get some money from whoever watches it. Now, you're not asking them to watch it, so they'll either watch it or they won't. But if you and I know AdSense has hit the fan and all the rest of it, and people aren't getting paid as much, but I think that's more of an honest way of doing that. You know what I mean? There are people that I talk to regularly that do monetize their videos, and they've said, you know, it's maybe just it gives me a game a year, you know what I mean, or whatever. It just gives a little bit back. But the Patreon thing, I think that's, if you start out as that, then that sits better with me than if you try to become that once you've established yourself within a community as a community player. That's it.
Can I ask you? Sorry, go on.
Let's say, before we go on to Goodwin's place question in a minute, I'd agree there, Daz. I sometimes think like they may get lots of views on one video and think I could have made X amount of money of this or something like that. But with monetization, I do not give a fuck about anyone making money off a multi-billion-pound company like Google who own YouTube.
No.
But it's when some of these people are preying on like, you know, a lot of these people, like they can be mentally vulnerable or very easily influenced. And I'm going to throw it out there. It's a lot of the time it's the female YouTubers, tits for hits, who can manipulate these people into thinking, oh, they'll be my friend.
Meow.
If I give them $5 a month.
Yeah, they're like dropping subtle hints on social media. Oh, I've never played this console, and then
Or doing like this on every video.
yeah, do you know, I've never played this. I'd really like to own one of these consoles. Then the next thing you know, some thirsty guys say, "Oh, you can have my console. You can have mine."
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
But you can't say out about it, can you?
If you
You can't say out about it because you're the hater otherwise.
Go on, Rob.
But you know, half the time, if you look at the comments of a lot of these female streamers or YouTubers, like half of their comments are just guys, really thirsty guys, saying, "Oh, you've got a lovely pair of tits." I'd love to. There's nothing about what they're actually talking about. Or rather than just like they're just looking at her. She could be talking about anything. It don't really matter. Like all they care about if they want to get their head buried in their tits. That's it.
No one's saying that was a good snipe, are they? No one's watching the Call
Come
of
on,
Duty.
I'm only human. Stop doing that. No, there are different versions of it. Like you say, Rob, it's the manipulation of a community. That's what I don't like. I think Tootie said this a while ago in one of his videos, and he was like saying, "Yeah, don't fucking come along and say I'm in the community. I'm a community player, and never fucking talk to a community person ever. I don't interact with any of the community." You know, and all the rest of it. You're not a fucking community tuber. You're not a community tuber. You're a fucking professional tuber. You know, you're a media fucking. You're a social media fucking leech. You're using it for that.
I know a few UK YouTubers who have content of what, like, in terms of good production value, who've been doing it for years, and I don't know a single one of them interacted with anyone in the UK gaming community. They're just completely doing it about themselves. I don't really have anything against the ones like to be honest, how you make your money. Even if you have a Patreon page, if you're still active in the gaming community, I don't really care. That's your business. I don't really care. But if you keep yourself, if you try and fake it in the beginning, try to pretend like you're part of the community, and then the minute you start getting a bit of success, it's like you just fuck off, and then you don't interact with anyone anymore because you think, oh, it's okay now. I have 20, 30,000 subs. I don't need to talk to these guys anymore because they're not going to keep me going. Like, that to me just pisses me off. But
that's because what they were in it for in the first place. You know?
Yeah. But it's for me. It's less about how they make their money. I don't give a crap about that. But it's just about how they choose to go about it. If you still make your money, if you decide to go on Patreon and all that stuff, but you still keep yourself the same way you were when you first came into it, fine, I'll respect your decision. But if you come off in the beginning like you want to be part of something, and then you start getting a bit of success, and then you fuck off and pretend like none of us exist, then that's what I don't like. That's what I can't respect.
You've got to put into perspective what success on YouTube is as well. You've got to have millions of views and millions of subscribers before you can say that you're a professional YouTuber. If you've got 1,000 subs, you're not a professional YouTuber. You're quite a successful hobbyist YouTuber. And if you've got a few thousand subs, or you've got 20,000 subs, you're still not there. The one thing that made me think about that was I went for a work trip to LA, and at the time it was E3, and I didn't know. That's how fucking amateur a gamer I am. On the plane on the way over, there was loads of guys wearing PlayStation t-shirts and shit, and I was like, what's going on? But I didn't even get it because I was so wrapped up in my work. Then on the way back, I got sat with a couple of guys, and they were indie game developers that had been to E3, and they were also YouTubers, and all they did was they streamed COD. That's all they did. They just streamed COD on their channel, and they'd got 300,000 subscribers, right? And they were earning between 40 and 60k a year from YouTube.
Jesus Christ.
For 300,000 subs. So the guys that have got millions of subs, fucking hell, and that was before the AdSense crash and all the rest of it. And they'd set up their channel for a business purpose. They were previously coders for Microsoft, so they were in the industry, and they took it privately themselves. And one guy was doing mobile gaming, and the other guy was he was an indie game developer, but they both took part in this YouTube channel, and all they did was stream Call of Duty. That's all they did, and they got 300,000 subs. So that's a 60 grand a year.
Well, I imagine they appeal to the kids market, which is a really big market when it comes to YouTube.
But at least they were honest in what they started out as a business. You know what I mean? To make money. That's where we blur this thing with community. So who's a community tuber and who isn't? I think I'd put myself out there, and who knows what money does to people, right? If I've never come into a lot of money in my life, and I don't know how that might change me, so I can't sit here and say, oh, it wouldn't change me. I wouldn't have fucking 80 more of these cabinets, or the real thing, or you know what I mean? I don't know how it would affect me, but I would like to think like you said there, Rob, earlier, that I wouldn't leave anybody behind. You know what I mean? I know where I'm from, and I know where I've come up from. I would hate to think that if I did get 1 million subscribers tomorrow, that it wouldn't change the way I'm portraying myself or my content. I'd hate to think that money would start to affect the way that I pander to my subs, if you know what I mean. I'd still have to be me. So I think that's there's a bit of a blur in when is it community and when is it not community. You know what I mean? What does that mean? What does it mean if you're a community YouTuber? What does that mean? You know, are you got no aspirations at all? You know, if you did get success, are you going to stay where you are, or would you go off and be, you know, and court that? It's interesting.
I just want to add I think there's like a group probably above our tier that keep themselves to themselves and very closed doors, don't interact with anyone else, because clearly they only watch people who are beneficial to them and their YouTube. Whereas to me, if you're, you know, I have like people who fucking don't even do YouTube who come and talk about fucking YouTube and gaming with me. I'd be like that if I had 1 million subs or if I had fucking 10. Whereas I think some of them, you know, they act like they're a better class and fucking above us all. And
well, that's the question. Can you tell me one tuber? Tell me one tuber that's got millions of subscribers that's still grounded and started as a community player.
I can't think of one. Well, it probably wouldn't be millions in the UK, to be thousands, wouldn't it? Because I don't think there's many in the millions in the UK.
I think out of our group, or I say our group, but the people that I interact with the most and that I know a lot, and I would say that Pete Armour on a retro tip, he's probably the most successful channel out of the community channels. And I know that he started Patreon recently as well. I'm going to be totally hypocritical and say that I didn't react to Pete's Patreon as strongly as I have other people that within the community that might have Patreon before him, and I think that's because I know Pete well enough to know that I believe that he is still grounded, and he isn't doing this for money, you know, not purely for that anyway. I think you can never introduce Patreon. I mean, Tootie said that before. I know I'm quoting Tootie a lot here, but I do listen to him, and I don't think it's an easy thing to do.
I wasn't going to mention Pete. I didn't want to single him out, but I was actually going to say Pete is a great example of someone who has a successful channel, but is still very much a part of the community. And I can say this. I'll say this. No one can argue with that, because that man has gone to virtually every single event that happens, and he still mixes with people. He still hangs out. Doesn't matter how big the event is. More than likely, Pete is going to be there. He's in with the community more than I am. So, like, he's actually a very good example of someone that balances it all out better. You know, as far as I'm concerned, like, I will never say nothing bad about where his channel has gone, because he is a prime example of a community player.
Yeah. And he's done a hell of a lot for every other channel that he interacts with. So I've got artwork on my channel from Pete, and I know countless people that have got artwork on their channels from Pete as well. Yeah, he helps everybody out.
I'm the same. He's helped me out.
Yeah.
You know,
so I'm not begrudging that at all. And as I said before, when I said I've changed my opinion of Patreon a little bit, Pete has helped me with that, because I thought at first I was kind of, Pete's not done that, has he? And I thought it was all going to go tits up for him, and it did in certain areas. But I've always said, you know what, I'm quite cool with that, because it's not like he's done it in a branding way. You know what I mean?
This is the point that I was making. It's like I've got no problem with people using it. It's just when they.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Like you say, they brand it, and make out that it's for your benefit and stuff. It's like I've got no problem with anybody at all. If you can make money, make your money. Do you know what I mean?
If it was me, I would say just attach it, but don't mention it. Then no one can say that you're caught in it, or it's the ones that say, I've now got a Patreon, and if you want to help me because I've got rent to pay, and like, fuck off. It's not about that. It's not about that, because you were paying your rent quite happily before you Patreoned. You know what I mean? So don't say it's for anything other than what it is. You know what I mean? I just attach it to your channel, and don't push it. Otherwise, I don't know. It's a fucking it's a no-win situation. I think a lot of the time. But yeah, I'm not singling Pete out, but as you said there, Rob, he is a good example of someone that got success. So certainly within our circles, got success and continues to get success and more play. A fair play to him and more power to him. But he is somebody that has helped and continues to help. And as you say, he is there and he will talk. He don't just turn up and stand there like a statue expecting you to talk to him. He'll come up to you and he'll interact and all the rest. He's still a community channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Tutti UK agrees in the comments, but Stu is Stu, isn't he?
Yeah, no, Stuart, you're entitled to your opinion, mate, as are we. And it is what it is.
How did you feel about Bithead then?
Me?
Going Patreon way?
I bought 2 games this week off the strength of Bithead. I like Jess. I think he's a great guy. I think his reasons were bullshit. But I'll continue to watch him. I've certainly not subscribed to his Patreon. I wouldn't do that. But I think it makes me wonder. As his sub count grows, we introduce Patreon and all the rest of it. But his content is so much different to what it used to be. But I think it's still pretty pure. I don't think that guy lies a lot on his videos. I think it's quite raw and it's very fucking hell. It's like a sledgehammer delivery, isn't it? You know what I mean? He makes me laugh. I'll watch him. I don't pay him for his content. If he went pay only, I wouldn't watch him anymore. But he's a guy that I've watched for a long time, but I think his reasons were bullshit. I'll say that out loud. I think his reasons for going Patreon were bullshit. He didn't introduce it very well, and it was disappointing. But I have still continued to watch his content.
Okay, we'll move on from Patreon now. I'll admit, I could take Bithead or leave him. I don't know if it's because I came to him late and I've only seen his shit content, if you know what I'm saying. So I don't get him. Goodwin asked, where did everyone's name come from? So we'll start with Rob. Obviously, the Rob bit came from your parents, I'm guessing.
Or is your real name Bob?
Yeah, no, basically, my name. I actually, when I first came on the YouTube scene, for the first few years, I actually had a completely different name.
Tino 777.
That's right, sir. Tino 777.
Tell us about that one.
No, but basically, when I made that name, it was just something I made up on the spot so I could have a YouTube account. I wasn't thinking anything of it. All it basically was, the Tino part was just short for Latino because I'm Hispanic. So I was like, that's where the Tino part came from. And the 777 was nothing. I just like the number 7. And it was for me, it's a lucky number, so I thought 777. That's all it was. There was nothing else behind it. There was nothing else behind it. That was it. So what happened?
Tino 7 is already taken. Tino 77 is already taken. Tino 77. Yes.
Do you know what? I think that's probably what it was. Anyway, yeah. So after a few years, after a few years, I started getting involved in the community, and I started sort of seeing other people, and a lot of people had like quite clever names and catchy names, and I was like, you know what? I want a better name. I'm not saying my name is. I think my name is still shit, but I just wanted something that was more indicative of my channel. So I thought, well, what is it that I like the most, and that in gaming, and that's 2D games. So I thought, okay, I love 2D games. I love to highlight 2D games in all of my videos. I'm always making a case about 2D games. So I thought, okay, what's a cool way of saying you highlight 2D games? And I thought, well, you champion 2D games. So I thought that's because I know it's corny as shit. But
I think Champion 2D2 would have been better.
But do you know what? I thought some people were going to take my name the wrong way. I thought that I was being an arrogant cunt. I claimed that I'm just some game player. Yeah, like I'm awesome at all 2D games.
Yeah, I think you should drop the
Rob. What I meant. So I always try to tell people. Do you know what? I just want to keep my name. I don't know why. I guess so. Like when people see my name, they know what my real name is as well. You know, keep it personal. I don't know. That's it, basically.
We'll go on to Adam next. Shockz16. Now I'm going to ask: is your last name Shockz? Because it is on Facebook. I'm guessing it's not.
I've got a story actually of how I got that. How I managed to get that as my surname. So. I actually thought he was burping into the mic at first. I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, my name just basically comes from CB Radio. Back when we used to do CB Radio, I just thought of a shitty handle, Shockz. I used to operate on channel 16, Shockz16. There you go.
Break a Shockz16.
Over.
Come back for a copy, come on.
So how did you get that as your last name then?
Oh yeah. So on Facebook, I put it in as Adam Shockz originally, and then Facebook did that thing where you had to use your proper name, didn't they? Like the started like making you show ID and everything like that. So I made a fake ID. and I showed it to Facebook. It was like the
cars.
It was the worst Photoshop job ever, but it did the job. But then after so many months, they tried to change it back to my original name, and I was like, I'm not having this. So I played like the racism card, and basically I made out that my last name was. No, I made out that my last name was Polish, and I said, that I find it offensive that you keep wanting to change my name back just because you keep pronouncing my name as the Western Shockz when it should be pronounced as Shockz. and when I pulled that out, they just didn't respond and let me keep the name. So
sorry, sir. Sorry about that, sir.
Yeah, and that's it. So yeah.
I've got Lee from You've Been Gamed on Facebook, and it's Lee Redfield, and I thought his last name was Redfield for fucking ages.
Yeah, so did I. Is that not his name then?
No, I'm not saying his last name, but I've got it saved in my phone as Lee Redfield as well, and he's fucking that's not his real last name, Redfield. And he goes, no, he's just from Resident Evil. Right, so now here is the real Snorefest. We're going to find out about Cojonesdeloro.
There's only 15 minutes left. There's only 15 minutes left.
Do you know what? I swear to God, I think I'm the only YouTube member in this community that can actually pronounce the name correctly.
Yeah,
no one else can.
It's Cojonesdeloro, isn't it?
Oh, Dane does a pretty good job as well. Yeah. Everybody in here does quite a good job of it. But it is probably the most butchered name in the history of YouTube. And Cojones. Fucking Craig. Cojonesdeloro. Craig used to call me. In fact, he still does call me Cojones. The fucker. So my name I didn't choose. My name was given to me as a term of derision years ago. So again, back to the bike thing. I used to be a motorcycle instructor. And if I may say so myself, I was rather fucking excellent at that job. And my pass rate was really high, and I got a lot of people through their tests. I'm really, really proud of what I did there, and I think back on that with fond memories. But one of the guys that worked with us didn't like that because his pass rate was pretty shitty, and he was a wank instructor, and he was part Spanish. So he started calling me Cojonesdeloro as like a term of derision. And of course, I don't speak Spanish, and I didn't know what that meant. And one of the owners of the company said to me, he said, this guy calls you Cojonesdeloro. I said, yeah, what does that mean? He says, it means golden balls. I was like, all right, in other words, golden bollocks. Oh, here he comes, fucking golden bollocks. Gets everyone through their test, and fucking everyone loves him. What a cunt. So he was jealous, basically. So he called me Cojonesdeloro. So what I did was I took that and I put it on the bottom of my number plate on my training bike, and it said El Muy Grande Cojonesdeloro, which is the very great golden ball. I kind of took it off him and like owned it. He sort of claimed it, sort of thing, which really annoyed the shit out of him. But then now and again, I'd get a student who'd say, "Who's golden balls then?" You know, they could speak Spanish and they knew what that meant. So when I went online back in '98 or something like that, yeah. You remember that, kids? Can you remember when the internet first
I was
started?
at school downloading pictures from Kenny.
Every time I joined a forum or anything like that, I used Cojonesdeloro, and that's I've used it ever since. So that's where it comes from. I did actually ask that as a question on my previous channel for a competition. I think I did once, and yeah, not a lot of people got it right, but yeah, a lot of people mispronounce it. But there you go, shits and giggles.
But you're not Cojonesdeloro anymore, are you?
Cojonesdeloro. Yeah, you fucking got that wrong. That's wrong there.
2.0.
You wrote it in. You typed that in, not me.
It's the new improved fucking, you know, fuckwit version.
Twice as good and twice as juicy.
Twice as good, twice as girth. Yeah.
So did you say the floating head's returning, did you say?
Yeah, but I just can't get. Actually, the excuse is I do the green screen in the garage outside, so my green screen setup is in the garage outside. So in the winter, it's fucking freezing out there, and for me, all I can wear is that tight lime green lycra suit.
Can we have a picture of you in that?
No one will ever see that.
Is it like
No
a
one
wolf
will.
suit, is it?
No one will ever see that as I live and breathe, right? And no one ever needs to see that, Dane. The last chicken in the shop. That's all I'm saying.
You look like a turtle with no clothes on.
Yeah, fucking unbelievable. I look like a perverted Teletubby. I look like the kiddie fiddler version of a Teletubby. It's not attractive, but yeah, I like that. But I don't know how to bring it back. If I'm honest, I don't know how to bring it back. I really like doing that. I thought it looked good, and it was a bit of fun. But yeah, I don't really know how to bring that back in this context.
I'll admit, when I first saw you doing that, I thought, Dazzy's having some kind of breakdown here.
I was. I've still got some of those videos on the channel, but I've made them private.
Please don't. Please put those back up.
But it's not relevant.
They mean
to the
something
channel.
to someone on YouTube. They mean, you've said it earlier in this stream. You can't be taking content away from your subscribers.
No, but it's what I did in between. It was like it's like, you know, when someone breaks up with the long-term girlfriend and then they have a couple of shags, and then they end up back with who they were with for 20 years. That's what that inside my own head I called it, didn't I?
Yeah,
so, that's my little, like, you know, honeymoon period of confusion.
Teeny Winky Horatio Van Basten.
Teeny Winky. Did I say Sean was a cunt? Yeah, I meant it.
You know,
Horatio Van Basten.
Yeah, Horatio Van Basten.
I've only learned Horatio Van Basten's real name tonight. I've always known him as Horatio Van Basten. No, I didn't know his real name.
He's your you know, your resident shmup dealer. He's sure. There's no.
Oh, is he?
What we don't know about shoot 'em ups. Oh yeah, very educated fella. Good
So
one.
he knows his fighters as well. He knows his fighters as well.
Yeah,
No, leaving smart ass comments like that, Sean. Start a channel and get yourself on camera, you fucking brave bastard.
Oh, is he one of them cowards who like learn
Oh, he's always been there, actually, Sean. He's always kind of been around the comments and stuff, and yeah,
like
I've bought games off him in the past as well. He's a good lad, but I wouldn't know him if he walked up to me tomorrow. I've never met him. I'd like to meet Sean.
No.
I might pester him, see if I can get him on here. He can come on without having to put his face on, like Craig's here again, who I've said to.
No, Craig won't do it. He ran away like a big girl when I suggested it to him the other night. He ran for cover and closed the hatch on his big fucking vault of everything.
Right, we're heading into the last 10 minutes, so I want one quick question before we all send out our messages. We'll start with Rob. What's the future for your channel? Because obviously you've done a video today. Are you going to become more regular? Are you going to get back active again?
Well, it's funny you saying that because I decided to come on here and announce my retirement. So basically, I'm out.
Cheers to that, then.
See you later, guys.
Are you going to come back as Champion2dRob 2.0?
Maybe.
No, he's going to be Latino 2D Rob 0.0.
That's a Latino 2D Rob.
777.
777.
Rob's more 0.4. I know he's a fucking unit.
Do you know what? I might just call myself the unit. That'll be my new YouTube name. The unit.
Oh, yeah.
Unit.
I'll definitely pay. I'll definitely pay to that Patreon.
Pay a certain amount and I'll sit on you.
I'm sure there's websites for that.
No, basically, I just, you know what? I'll just keep putting out content. Hopefully, people enjoy it. I have no aspirations about blowing up or nothing. You know, I'll do it until I stop enjoying it. You know, that's all I can really say on that.
No, that's fair comment. How about you, Shockz?
Just another 9 years of this.
Bring back Friday Night Fight, you fucker.
Yeah, but has Friday Night Fight run its course, do you think?
No, it's only just started.
No,
I want another opportunity. I want another opportunity to
Shockz?
beat you down on the tubes.
do you know what, Shockz? One day, I was actually gonna bring this up at some point, but I might as well bring it up. I'll bring a bunch of my fighters. So we're doing a whole new series of Friday Night Fight.
You're on.
We gotta do that one day. Because I've got a shit ton of fighters, but there's one in particular that I've got called Fight of Gods. It you're basically fighting. You can play as Jesus Christ versus Santa Claus. That game exists.
I would watch that.
We'll do that one as a Christmas special then. Jesus vs Santa. Christmas Night Fight.
Look it up on YouTube. It's called Fight of Gods. Jesus Christ comes up, he rips his arms off the cross, and he's still got the wood like attached to his arms, and you can fight like Ryu. I shit you not. Look it up. It's on the Switch.
Chatty shit, man. I know you're lying because Santa Claus is not a god. He's a saint.
He's the only one he's the only one, but I swear to you, it's real. And we're gonna play that at your house, Shockz.
Yeah, we'll do that.
It can't be any stranger than JoJo's fucking adventure. That was fucking
bizarre by name, bizarre by nature. Yeah.
So everyone's answered for you, Shockz. You're gonna bring Friday Night Fight back then?
Yeah, it looks like that. Yeah, it looks like Friday Night Fight's coming back.
That guy, popular peer pressure.
Yes. But yeah, that's it. That's it, really. I just upload when I want, what I want. You might see it, you might not. I don't have a. I like the Joker. Does it look like I have a plan?
He's not really selling it, is he? He's not really selling it.
But yeah, subscribe.
I like your aftershave one when you've done your old aftershave collection. That was funny.
Like I say, any shit, it will be on my channel. Yeah. Friday Night Fight.
So Friday Night Fight is coming back. You've heard it here. Once locked down and Rob's allowed out the house to come and visit shop. The battle is on. What about you then, Daz? Are you going to do your channel tomorrow?
There'll be more tortured ramblings and me liking the sound of my own voice.
You've been like the Craig Turner of this stream. Like once you start talking, I can't fucking stop you.
I was going to contact you earlier actually and say, please don't let me take it over because it will become the Cojonesdeloro show, and I don't want that.
I don't mind.
Need at least 5 minutes in this 2 hours.
We'll tell you the truth now. We'll tell you the truth. It's been open. There's nothing up with you, Mike. But I said to Shockz16 before you come, we need to fuck Daz off for half an hour, otherwise
Fair play, mate.
When he comes back, we'll just tell him his fucking mic's working now.
Yeah.
Fair play. No, more like the other guys have said, more of the same shit. You know, it's roaring tooth and claw. It is what it is. I don't profess to be anything other than just Darren, and hopefully that's enough.
That's brilliant. Right, we'll close it up now. We'll do the same thing we've done every night. We've been sending out messages to everyone watching on YouTube. We'll start with Rob just to say safe, whatever message you want to pass on to Rob if you want to go first. Rob, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Just ask him.
Yeah, no, just stay safe, everyone. I know like these are really difficult times for everybody. Hopefully everyone is taking advantage of this time to do stuff around their house and look after whoever's living with them and stuff. Because I know it's hard for a lot of people. Everyone's not working at the moment, and it's a scary time. But we just use this time to back off then. No, but it's just that I just want to just use this time to game and spend a lot of time on the phone talking to my family and friends, and hopefully we get done with this bollocks sooner rather than later.
Thanks, Rob. How about you, Shockz? A sensible message maybe for everyone, or probably not?
Don't be a prick. Stay in. # stay safe.
Okay. And Daz, obviously a message from you.
Right, I've written a few paragraphs on this. No, just echo what the other guy said. I hope everyone in the community does the right thing. Initially, I thought that Boris was a bit of a twat, but over the last couple of weeks, I've kind of gained a bit of respect for him, and it's difficult for everybody. It's going to be a really nice weekend. It's going to be like 20 degrees up north, and that's fucking like 80 degrees anywhere else in the world. Don't fucking go out. Just stay at home. Stay in your fucking garden. Open a window if you haven't got a garden. But yeah, just stay at home and do the right thing. Just protect yourselves and protect everybody else. And I just want to echo what happens on a Thursday as well. My wife works for the NHS. She was making visors out of fucking breadcrumbs and butter beans this week. Basically nothing. They were using anything and everything they could to manufacture PPE for themselves. Which is not coming no matter what they might fucking tell you. So big thanks to the NHS, and also the postal workers. I don't think they've had much of a shout out, and they're going to every fucking house, man. They're delivering me shit from China every day. No problem. All the stuff I'm getting for my Game Boy stuff is coming from China. So yeah, big shout out to everybody that's still working.
I'm upset with the postman today because I was expecting Resident Evil 3 to come through my post today and it didn't arrive. I'm a little bit annoyed.
Sorry, Red. I take it all back. They're not earning the money. Now, all joking aside, guys, stay safe.
Yeah.
Big love to everybody. Do the right thing. Like Samuel L. Jackson said, stay the fuck at home.
Right, I just want to personally thank all three of you for being on tonight, man. It's been great. I've had a good laugh, man. Plenty of good laughs. Daz, I'm glad you finally found a headset.
Thanks, Dane. Thanks, Dane and Darren.
And I'll be in there. So, guys, I think you'll all agree, man. We've had a good laugh tonight. Plenty of fucking good banter. Some great messages from some great guys. I just want to say it's a pleasure, man. It's been a good stream for me tonight. It's been good for me to do this. I'll hopefully be back tomorrow. I'm definitely taking Sunday off, and I'm definitely back on Monday. My Championship Manager live stream's fucking gone at the moment because I fucked up my charger. I'll be getting a new charger next week. So this has been live from lockdown, and I'll see you all again, same time tomorrow. Take it easy.